Okay, so today is session 19 of my complete deadlift restart after nearly a year off. I gotta tell you, this stuff's starting to get heavy for me. So stick around, I'll show you how the rest of this workout went and give you a little wrap up of my progress. Let's go do it. Hey gang, welcome back to Mark's 60 Plus Fitness Journey. Okay, today an update on my Deadlift Project, on my way to a legit 450 pound deadlift by the end of this year, 2024. I'm going to show you today's session, and then later on I'm going to wrap it up with a discussion on where I've been, what I'm doing, my thoughts on the process, and what to expect in the near future. So let's get at it. Alrighty, now as I finish up my last couple of warm-up sets, let me give you a little bit of an idea of what I'm up to today and in general with my deadlifts. As I alluded to, this is deadlift session number 19 of my deadlift restart / deadlift project. Now, this project is designed to help me get to a strength goal I have this year, which is to reach a legit 450 pound deadlift by the end of 2024 or before I turn 65. And so far, so good. And before I forget, again, at the end of this, after this really nice session I had today, I'm going to show you a graph or a little presentation of this project from the inception, from October 2023 until today, just to give you an overview of how it's gone and the numbers and the hits and misses and where I am and what I plan to do. And in the meanwhile, let's get into the first working set here, which is today at 375 pounds. Now I'm using a progressive overload approach, and by that I mean I'm doing 3 sets of 5 reps. And if you're not familiar with that, that means every time I'm able to successfully do 3 sets of 5 reps at a given weight, in this case 375, I move up 5 pounds if I feel it's warranted. Now, I'm not a power lifter per se, so I'm not using a strict powerlifting program or a powerlifting program in general. If I were to get into the mindset of going into a competition, I would certainly modify this a little bit, but this is just to help me get to my goal of 450 pounds by the end of the year. Almost on cue here, my buddy Howard, my workout partner, jumped right into the camera lens as I was getting ready to start set 2 here. We got that clarified, so now we're ready for set 2. Now let me talk a little bit about this session today. And I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end there when I go over my whole progress chart that I mentioned earlier, so stick around for that. My previous session was at this working weight, 375 pounds, and that was an off day. So I'm back at it here again, and I have to say this felt infinitely better than my previous session, which just goes to prove not every day is the best day. So there's going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be plateaus, as many of those as there is days of progress. So just stick with it and ride it out. But today's session was good. It felt heavy, but certainly doable. This is my 3rd working set, and that second working set was actually easier than my first, and I find that to be the case most days I do deadlifts. The first set, even after warming up, it is always hard. And the second set is the easiest, third, the most trying. And today that was certainly it. The same thing goes with within a set, within the reps. The first rep on a deadlift for me is always the hardest. Once you get that first one in, I can usually grind out whatever number I'm looking at. In this case, 5. But this third set was an RPE of 10 for sure, or very close. RPE being rate of perceived effort, and on a scale of 1 to 10. And 10 meaning you couldn't have done another rep. And I guess if there was $1 million on the line, I could have done another rep, but I maxed out there. It was good. That was a good session. That was probably the hardest deadlift session I can recall doing in a good while. But I would like to say thank you for hanging out with me, and do stick around after this so I can show you the chart I was talking about, and show you the progress and what I expect in the future. And matter of fact, here it goes. Okay, here it is, my Deadlift Project progression. And I just restarted deadlifting again after about a year layoff, unplanned, but a year layoff, in October of 2023 at 175 pounds. And I picked a weight to start with, a very conservative, doable, safe weight to start with, of 315 pounds. To start my progressive overload approach of 3 sets of 5 reps. And that means every time I'm able to successfully do 3 sets of 5 reps at a given weight, I'm going to go up 5 pounds. And as you can see, I moved along fairly steadily at that pace all the way through November 22nd of 2023. And as I remember that just felt heavy, so I decided to stay at 360 for the next session. Then there was an unscheduled 11-day break, but I did indeed jump back into that 360-pound working weight on December 3rd and got that. And at this point, it's been a little bit slower progression, and progression nonetheless. Now the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions, it's gotten more difficult. And if you've ever done this progressive overload approach, you know eventually you're going to get to a point where it's going to get hard and you're going to plateau. So a few things of note here. Now you'll notice on 12/23/2023 in red, I have a working weight of 370, and I only got 5, 4, and 3 reps respectively. So that was a miss. So what I did was, the next session I backed off, went down to 315 pounds, a little deload session, and I did 315 by 10 reps for 3 sets. A little bit of work, just a little less intensity. Then the next session, 7 days later, I went back to my 370 pound working weight that I missed earlier, a session or 2 before, and got that. I remember that was a good session. That felt good. And as you see, the next session, I went up to 375. Again, a 5, 4, 3 rep, respectively, session, a no-go. And so the next session, I deloaded a bit down to 345 pounds, vice 375. And on that session, I did 3 sets of 7 reps. And again, as I remember, felt pretty good. And then this day, I went back to my 375 pound working weight, and did get 3 sets of 5 reps. Although the last set was a definite RPE of 10, rate of perceived effort on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being like warm up reps, and 10 meaning that you couldn't have done another rep if you had to. So I'm at a decision point here for my next session, and I think what I'm going to do is move up 5 more pounds, go to 380, see how that feels. And that's going to be on February 3rd or 2nd, or it's not going to be 127. That's a mistake. So anyway, the next session, I'm going to go up to 380, raise it 5 pounds, see how it goes. But I'm mightily afraid, or not afraid, I just know it's going to happen. I'm sure we're going to get to a plateau here soon, and we'll address that bridge when we get to it. But I think I'm still on track to meet my goal of a 450-pound deadlift by the end of this year, 2024. Certainly doable. So that's where we are right now, moving along, just getting a little slower, getting a little heavier, but that's to be expected. Alrighty, there you go. Today's really awesome deadlift session. Keep your eyes peeled for more on my deadlift project, as well as my bench press project and my squat project, and for progress on my workout partner Howard as he moves along on his fitness journey. And I do want to say I sincerely appreciate you guys and gals taking time out of your busy day to hang out with me today. It's very awesome, and I do appreciate it. Now, if you do me one more favor, as always, hit that like button, share it with your friends, share this video with your friends, pass it around. Leave comments. Leave some comments, even if they're critique comments. That's cool. We all learn. That's how we learn. Critique away. Say nice things. Just leave a comment if you would. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here. It's a cool group, as I always say. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join us. And I guess with that, I will say, till next time, go get 'em. Mark out.